So let's talk about when the best time to tell a child a family secret is. It's sort of a family secret or something about the child themselves or something about the family. I sort of had this conversation with a friend and we both came to the conclusion because she was telling me about how somebody she knows is in a certain situation and they're wondering how to tell their kid now where to go uh, to reveal what they have to reveal to their child. And at the end of the conversation, my friend and I agreed like family secrets or this news that has to be revealed to children, I feel, and her too, felt that it should be done early on in the child's life, such that a child just grows up knowing from the start. For instance, whether it's adoption, it's just an example because I think generations change and time has changed. Because people used to, you know how people used to like, people could easily adopt a child or bring in a child, or the father brings a child, or the mom came with a child, and then it sort of becomes a family secret and nobody is talking about it. This happens in a lot of families, like a lot of families. Even in the work that I do, I've met so many families where certain things are kept secrets and then children know about it later and so forth and so forth. Even I know family secrets. Like, you know, with one of my best cousins, we were laughing. We're like, now that when we were teenagers, we started like realizing, oh, do you realize this and that and that and that? Do you realize? Because these are things that were never explained to us, but as we grew, we started like realizing certain things, and we were actually laughing about them. Um, but the effects can be very negative to children or build mistrust in the family. So with mistrust, usually in parenting skills, we actually say how to build a positive relationship, and mistrust is definitely not one of them. There should be clear communication and trust between parent and child. So it is best to tell a child that family secret when they're young so they just grow up with it. This is my advice that okay, it's the advice of two friends because we generally agreed on it because it only makes sense that it builds trust, it's better for the child, and when a child grows up with something, it's normal. It stops being a shocking secret the time they get to know it when they're 16 or when they're older. So I just wanted to encourage parents out there, families out there, let's kind of make family secrets or this big news normal news. Then kids grow up knowing my mom passed on, or um, I was adopted, I got to be part of this family. And when they know, you have no idea like how it actually, they have a way of making it a positive and very normal thing. I just came back from going back to parenting skills. Like I just had a session sometime like a few days back, and we actually talked about that. Like uh, a mom revealing to her children that you have different dads, and one of the children actually now saying to the other kid, "You're not my sister," or "You're not this and that." But the thing was, we actually discussed is when this is done and repeated over and over and communication is very clear and the mother builds the bond, or the parent, not it's not the mother's work alone, when both parents, the mom and the dad, build the bond between children or communicate clearly what is happening, it becomes normal. Children just grow up with it and it is very normal, and parents also have space to actually control the relationship. So not exactly control the relationship, but I mean control the situation. So it is better to actually communicate any issues whenever they turn up, not to wait for too long. And the younger the child is, the better, because they just grow up knowing this is how it has always been. It doesn't become grown up news where they feel betrayed that so many years passed and people chose not to say certain things. So I hope you get it. This is in a lot of families. It's a lot of news. It's not even yours alone, neither is it mine or the next person's. There's just a lot of news to, like, there is different types of news to tell children. And the best time is when they're at their youngest. And when it's communicated by the parent and you help the child to make sense of it, then it totally makes sense to them. They grow up with it normal, I repeat again. So that's just my advice. Bye bye.